Ran out of them by now.
This is God, and that's not right.
Hey, y'all, I know it's hard to believe because I'm a good-looking son of a bitch, but I had a bad haircut a while back. And what I did was I eased into a barbershop I'd never been to before, and some boy named Joe cut my hair. I figured, shit, his name's Joe. He's got to be good at his job. Well, he said, right out of the gate, he said, how do you want your haircut? I said, ain't shit to it, Joe. I said, I like a short fade. One on the side. Get that son of a bitch just enough to comb over to the side and blend that shit in. I wasn't watching his ass close. And he got a little bit crazy with that number one and buzzed the fuck out of me. And then he asked me, he said, what do you think? I said, well, Joe, I'll tell you what the fuck I think. I think if I was headed to boot camp, you did a good job. But as it is, I think I'm gonna be wearing a fucking hat for 2 weeks. You fucked my hair up. So I paid him his $18 and I was on the rim and out the door. Now, that's how I reacted. 20 years earlier, I walked into a little mall and I come by, there's a little place called, it's living in Florida at the time, it's called Regis Hair Salon. And I walked in right by that son of a bitch. And there was a girl in a similar predicament as what I was going through. She wasn't happy with her haircut. And this is how she handled it. She's kind of mumble crying. And I don't know if she was talking to the salon manager or the girl just cut her hair, but she said, I wanted it short on the front and the back. And little old girl's trying to calm her down or get her the fuck out of the Dodge, I don't know which. And she says, it's all right, sweetheart, it's going to be fine. We're gonna make you look good. Everything's going to be fine. You can't make this shit look good, bitch. I mean, she's losing it. And I'm only about 10 foot away, but I'm watching. And if this was in the time of cell phones, I'd have been filming this shit. And she caught me looking, and she told me something that it still fucking stings today. But she looked over at me and she goes, what the fuck are you looking at, you Woody from Toy Story looking motherfucker? Got a snake in your boot? Fuck off! Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't really like it when somebody calls me names and talks ugly to me. So what I came up with is, I told her, I said, baby, I'm looking at that Audubon hair. Audubon hair? I said, yeah, I've been on a fucking goat's ass. Fuck you. Now, the reason I ended up in that barbershop and Joe fucking my hair up is my go-to spot. I don't know if you'd say they kicked me out or just asked me to leave, but where I like to get my hair cut is Sports Clips. Why there, Joe? I'm glad you fucking asked me.
Why there, Joe?
Thank you. Same reason men go to Hooters. All right, you got sports going on TV, and you got good-looking girls taking care of them. Now, you can call me a creepy old man. I don't give a shit. But I was in there one time, and there was a son of a bitch. He might as well have been bald-headed. He only had like 3 sprigs hanging out at the top of his head, and shit, I could have cut his fucking hair, but that gal was getting after him, and I'm guessing the only reason he was in there was for them titties on his shoulder. That's the only fucking reason I go in there. So, I like to get my hair cut first thing in the morning, so I ease up in that son of a bitch. And there's two little stylists in there. One of them, middle-aged woman, she probably field dressed, 350 pounds, ugly as sin. Y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. The other one was a fucking dude. I did something that I don't advise it. You should never fucking do this. I told the fucking truth. I said, y'all got any more stylists coming in? I said, you waiting on somebody in particular? I said, well, I I'd like somebody half-ass attractive that maybe later on tonight, if my wife don't let me rear her up on her ass, I can beat off to. How about that? And so, I guess that shit don't fucking fly in sports school. Now, anybody that knows me knows I'm a little bit curious, like Derek was talking, you know, white people we are, we like to know how shit goes down. And I was driving home the other day and I saw two fucking buzzards gnawing on an armadillo. And a lot of questions come up in my head. The first question is, where the fuck are buzzards hanging out when they're not gnawing on a dead animal? Or they got a nest up in a pine tree, they're hanging out in the tall grass, or you know, maybe they got a tent behind fucking Long John Silver's. I don't know where they're hanging out, but I wanted to know. And then I got to thinking, you know, Joe, you've seen a lot of buzzards, you've seen a lot of nature shows, but I don't think I've ever laid my eyes on a baby buzzard. And then I got to thinking, as many nature shows as I've seen, I don't think I've ever seen a fucking buzzard fucking. I wouldn't know buzzard style if I fucking saw it. But the main question that entered my mind was, how the fuck did those two particular buzzards end up chewing on that armadillo? And I've got a theory. Now, for this theory to work, we're going to have to make an assumption, y'all. And the assumption is that those two buzzards right there, one was male and one was female. Now, when I saw them, I was clipping by at about 70 miles an hour, so I didn't see no buzzard nuts or no buzzard titties. We're just going to say, for the sake of this story, that that was a man and a woman. And I think it went down something like this. I think the male buzzard said, "Hey, baby, what you want to eat tonight?" And you know what she said? "I don't care, you pick." And he said, "Hey, baby, there's a dead possum over there off of Summer Hill. You want to go over there and gnaw on him?" No, baby. You know how your cholesterol is. We can't be fucking that possum, right? I think there's a couple of dead cats off State Line. What do you think of that? Baby, we had Chinese last week. We And finally, like all of us, he fucking had it. He said, "Look here, bitch. I know where there's some fucking Tex-Mex on the Arkansas side. Take it or leave it." And he said, and she said, "You know why you gotta be so ugly to me?" Now, when I got home, I did my due research, okay? And I looked into these fucking buzzards. And this intensive research consisted of me looking at the fucking Wikipedia page. And y'all might want to write this shit down. It may come up in trivia next week. What I learned is the buzzard has something in common with the groundhog. Y'all know the superstition behind the groundhog. If the groundhog comes out and sees his shadow, what happens? Well, 6 weeks, same as cash at fucking Cal Williams Motors. The buzzard, the ancient Mayans believed that if the buzzard came out and saw his shadow, they changed the grease at the fucking fish fryer up there at Sam's Eatery up there off of New Boston Road. Hey, look it up. Now my wife, she's not here tonight, but she's always on my ass saying I need to clean my act up a little bit and tell some clean jokes. So I'm going to tell y'all the cleanest joke that I know, and feel free to share this at a bar mitzvah or a church gathering, barbecue. Drill sergeant walks into a whorehouse, right? And he walks up to the madam and he says, "I want one of your best looking women for the night." Madam says, "With all due respect, I see you're a military man and I don't think you can afford our ladies." Says, "Well, I got $300 burning a hole in my pocket." She says, "That won't get it done, cowboy." Says, "It's $1,500 an hour." He says, "Jimmy Christmas, I can't fucking afford that." He says, "But I'll tell you what, if I can show you something no other man has ever shown you before, will you give me your finest woman for the night?" She said, sir, I've been a madam for 30 years. There ain't nothing you can show me that another man has not shown me. He said, deal or no deal? She said, deal. Pulls his old pants down and says, attention. Old bitch stands up. He says, that is. Falls man. She said, shit, do that again. Attention. That is. She said, you got yourself a damn deal. He says, I'm going to parade my girls out here and you take pick of the litter. He said, sounds good. She lines up 10 fine-ass women, you know, they in little panties and bras and they and all that bullshit. And she says, hey, before you pick one, would you show them what you showed me? I said, sure. She says, attention. He gets looking at them gals. Says, at ease. I said, at ease, soldier. At ease. He goes to jerking and pulling on that son of a bitch. Next thing you know, he done shot a leg on all these guys. This dog in the fucking cup. She said, what in the fuck are you doing? He said, well, he disobeyed a direct order, so I gave him a dishonorable discharge.